those who think that China is no longer communist are very badly mistaken because they take the ideological, philosophical underpinnings very seriously. But it is not superficial Marxism or Leninism. It's Marxism-Leninism as interpreted in Chinese history. Now, I talked earlier about the dynastic histories, 23 of them. Mao Zedong read all of them repeatedly, made annotations with his usual scrawl. So you go to a Beijing bookshop, you can find the 23 dynastic histories with Mao Zedong's handwritten scrawls with what they meant and annotations on his annotations. And yet the last dynasty's history is not yet written. Now, I recount all this just to make a point that China is not easily understood. And the Jesuits, when they went in the 16th century, they knew this. My hero, Matteo Ricci, Chinese name利玛窦, he thought he should dress like a monk, only to discover that in China, monks are looked down upon by the scholars. But he had an encyclopedic memory, and probably one of the most brilliant men Europe has ever produced. So he mastered the Chinese classics. He put on the robe of a scholar. He helped the Chinese correct the calendar, maintain the clocks in the palaces, compared notes with them on astronomy. At that time, the Jesuits knew that in order to persuade China, to convince them, they had to go into the depths of Chinese philosophy. So just the translation of Deus into Chinese was very difficult, because China had no equivalent concept of an intervening God. When Francis Xavier went to Japan, he found a name which felt to be that of a minor Japanese deity. So that wouldn't do. Matteo Ricci thought deeply. The Chinese have the concept of heaven. It's really a monotheistic idea because there's only one heaven and there's only one humanity. And the emperor is the son of heaven, Tianzi. And he governs on the basis of a mandate of heaven, Tianming. And Matteo Ricci's translation of God was the Lord of Heaven, Tianzu. Until today, the translation of the Catholic religion into Chinese is the religion of the Lord of Heaven, 天主教.